Do you guys think that when the new airport opens, that they'll close down the existing one?
What do you think? There is real estate investing and there is property buying. These are completely different processes. So for property buying, Dubai South is perfect. I don't have any issue with that. But for investment side, I have a frame. You will have the biggest port, the biggest airport, the fastest railway, the metro.
And the metro,
and the best connectivity in
internally.
connection. So that makes the full house. But I say a lot of developers failing in Dubai in terms of product market fit. Now we'll start roasting developers, and that's a lot.
All right, guys, thank you so much, Kamil, for coming on our show. We're loving the energy that's coming and what has in store for us from the Dubai South side. I've heard so many good things are happening there, and that you're the expert of the land when it comes to Dubai South.
Well, thank you for this for these remarks, but it's pretty funny how you tell the ABCs of the area, and instantly you are perceived as an expert in the area. I wouldn't say that, but thank you anyway for kind words.
No, well, I mean, I think that it's really easy to become an expert of an area is when you even just do the basic research and then apply it, right? Everybody has access to probably the same information, but not many are going to take advantage of it and then speak about it in an eloquent and professional way. So I think that itself is really what separates sometimes an expert from somebody else that could be the second best. But it's just, I think you took the energy to be able to invest your time to be able to learn that market.
Well, I would say what I know today comes from my background, where I've invested something like 16 years in total doing real estate development together with investment. Nice. So when I moved to Dubai, these are the two things I've been doing all my life, so there was no question what to do, right? And it's not because I am something special, it's not because I have something that others don't have, but for 16 years you've been doing two things on higher level than is required for sales of real estate. That's why you can see something that the guy next to you can't see.
Sure.
But it's just because you've been doing that before. That's it.
Yeah. Expertise, definitely. If you compare it to any other industry, whether it be sports or it be any other talented person, they spend a lot of time offline to build that expertise. Right. It's not just overnight that they become the expert. So yeah, 16 years it took for you, huh?
Yeah,
to be able to be called the expert in that. So I attest to that, is because even for myself, to claim being a developer in Dubai, it wasn't just a dream one day that I wanted to make to reality, but it was something that was planned and thought out well before it came to reality. And so I think everyone can agree that it takes practice to get to that
perfect.
level of perfection. So.
But that's what you are doing is not something you do first time.
Yeah.
You brought the expertise from other city where you've been building before, right?
True.
So that's, again, just unpacking the skills you had before in managing the development.
Yeah. And Dubai South, for me, I've have an office. I have also a logistics business that was based out of, it still is, out of Dubai South back in 2016 is when I first opened the company. And now, 9 years later, is it 9 years? Yeah, 9 years later, it has now become a force to be reckoned with major developers coming, making their way to Dubai South, with population considering to move to Dubai South, and also with the future plans and its close proximity to the new airport. Do you think that this is something that we can see become a go-to place in 2025?
Go-to place for
investment?
For investment, not for developers.
Well, developers, I think, already started
have to develop in order for it to become an investment, right?
Yeah.
Because, I will answer your question, and I have one for you also.
Okay.
What do you think as a developer of bringing your focus in next 10 years on that area instead of building something inside the developed areas in Dubai?
See, I study trends of not just now, but 2 years down the road, is because when we deliver this project is really where we also want to look at not just putting profit in our pocket today and sellability of the project today, but for someone to be able to move in and be able to consider it home 2 years from now when we're ready to give handover of the project. I feel like if you would have asked me maybe 12 months ago, I would have said that it's a little far out, that I don't see people moving in 2 years from now. But if we're having this conversation right now in 2025, I think that 2027 could be a time where people can consider living there. Why? Is because of the major announcements of the airport becoming the place where Emirates makes headquarters. I think that will be closer than ever in 2027 than ever before. So I think 2025 definitely is more realized as a place to invest in and start a project than ever before.
So you should be buying land in Dubai House to sell to developers in 25, 26. Right?
I'll tell you that.
Because the main challenge for anyone developing in Dubai today is plots.
Yeah.
Proper plots.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I hope we will do business with the guys who buy the plots, and then we will sell it with a huge premium to developers back in, in 26, 27.
Story of my life. I deal with. I work with land bankers and profiteering off of this industry for I think more hours in the day than I want. But this is part of being a developer also, is to be able to have an eye for locations and to be able to have the ability to secure land in places that are upcoming.
So guys, I want us to zoom out a little bit, and this question is specifically to you, Kamil. For people who are not familiar with Dubai South.
Okay.
Because lots of people, they hear Dubai South, but they don't know what's going on there. If you can give us like a concise overview of the master plan there, what's the plan basically, the strategic plan for the government, and any insights that you have on the area?
Well, yes, there is a confusion. Some people align the name, the Dubai House, with certain developers. But Dubai House is the corridor of growth, as Sheikh Mohammed called it. From Palm Jebel Ali up to Al Maktoum airport, this strip of land will see the most massive growth in upcoming years. They will inject, as I calculated, more than $87 billion in 8 years. It's more than $10 billion for infrastructural development and residential projects every year. What happens to your pennies when you put them next to this big money? They grow together, right? It's a rocket. So why they'll be doing that? If we exclude Palm Jebel Ali, which will be more like exclusive high-end properties, there is a cut below Palm Jebel Ali that will look like Marina. There is area which is Palm Jebel Ali Hills. There is a Jebel Ali village. There is Jebel Ali beach. So all groups of users that you see today in Marina, JBR, Palm, La Mer, in the AFC, in downtown, all of them will have Dubai 2.0 in that strip of land. And if you look at the whole place, the plan for the government is to have the shopping window. It's the first stop for anyone coming to Dubai, where in 4 minutes by metro, you will be inside one of the communities called Expo. That's the legacy of Expo 2020 that is now having the second iteration, which is Expo City. It's maybe 2 months ago when Sheikh Mohammed announced and approved the new master plan. And, following his statements, you can see how much focus and attention they put on that area. So in the statement, I read the words that Dubai Expo City will be the pillar of all Dubai's economic growth. And the whole area will contribute 35%. I mean, the Dubai House will contribute 35% to Dubai's GDP growth. So for that whole place, if we look at these massive investments, you should be very precise with where you invest in real estate in that place. Because if you plan, if you do mistake with demand and product fit, then actually you will see that traffic, you will see lots of money coming in, but you are not participating in it. Let's say if you count on airport, that was the topic of one of the videos. If you count on traffic from airport
itself.
Yeah, definitely your villa or townhouse makes no sense for those who come to build that thing, because people don't count that if you want to build the biggest airport in the world, you will have all the possible contractors all over the world coming there to build that thing first, before even we talk about passengers. So these are highly paid guys, like, software engineers, navigation systems, cybersecurity, etc., etc. Where do they go? They need to be here from 1 week to 1 year. They are not residents.
Transient, yeah.
Do they go after work? Do they hop on a car and drive and sit like Robinson Crusoe in the middle of nowhere in a villa? Or they hop on a metro, in 4 minutes they are in Expo, which is a already developed area with some of the biggest shows, entertainment, restaurants, etc., and they reside there.
Yeah.
So if you want to fit, you see the massive traffic, let's say you bet on airport, then you should find a proper fit to benefit from that. So if to sum up, Dubai House is something that will see this massive growth, and Expo is something that happens once in a decade, because as far as I know, Sheikh Mohammed's vision and focus on a particular area in Dubai happened 3 times. It was downtown at Burj Khalifa, where it was his vision, resources, and energy, and Emar was executing. So the creator and executor, these are different roles. Then the second project was Palm Jumeirah, where his support, vision, resources, etc., allowed that project to carry on through the crisis of 2008 and to flourish. Now, when he puts his attention on the area, I know what it brings, right? So I close my eyes, I buy anything available there. So it has track record. That's why, let's say, Emirates Airlines moved there, the headquarters, right? DP World is sitting there. Siemens, Nestle, etc., a lot of other companies. It's not because they, liked the walls of the offices there more than in downtown. It's because they participate in something what government is doing.
No. This is based on what we discussed a couple of weeks ago. Where is the government spending money? Where is government?
The infrastructure, that side of the city is far better developed for the future than I think anything else. The vision is more realistic there than here. Here, there's still a lot of retrofit that has to happen to be able to house the vision of the Sheikh, which is to grow its population to its maximum. And I see it happening more sustainably.
I think they will be able to navigate our biggest concerns in Dubai now, which is a lot of traffic and logistical issues. And since we got so much land there, they can actually prepare it much, much better. Although unexpected situations and circumstances arise when it comes to a 260 million passenger airport, it will be really, really challenging logistically. But since there's only land there, we can at least prepare better than the traffic we have around Creek and Business Bay and Al Khair Road. Like, we can't broaden things much, much more. That's why we have, the metro. They're trying to ease off the metro. I think the Creek, like people focusing on the Creek, trying to maybe ease the traffic away from the downtown area.
Yeah.
A lot more people moving to the Creek, trying to spread. Because if you look at, I'm no expert, I don't know, but if you look at it from a logical standpoint, this is why Dubai is spreading from different corners. I think they are trying to logistically desaturate.
That's the best way to do it. I mean, if you look at any major development in the world, any major city, it happened where there was an epicenter of population, businesses, industries, and infrastructure, and then they grew their way out. And the way that Dubai's done it is that they throw the ball as far as they could, and then they built their way inwards. And that's what's happening with Dubai South. That's happening with even Al Qudra Road when you go down to that part, Dubai land area. And that's what they're doing with Dubai Creek. And the population continues to pour in, which allows Dubai to be able to fill in the gaps between those major outskirt cities and then work their way inwards.
For For the infrastructure, from what I did before, I was in charge of building a strategy for a city and a master plan. So when you build something, when you look on other master plan, you understand why something is happening over there, why they do that, what's the logic behind, right? So if you look at current master plan, any master plan of existing city, a new master plan, should be, in first part, solving existing problems. Now, one of the problems we have in the center of Dubai is traffic, obviously. So how do you do that? First, you identify who are the users of the area. Like in downtown, we have people who do business, we have tourists coming for Burj Khalifa and Dubai Mall, and we have a minor group who are residents. Now, whom you can extract over there? You cannot move Burj Khalifa, so tourists will be staying. Residents do not make that load on road, so business people. Where do you move them? You move them closer to. By the way, if you break down the business people, they are the offices, the visitors of the offices coming all over the world, and the visitors of World Trade Center, right? Because it's also sitting in the downtown area. So when you are moving them, it should be a place where you have enough space to develop the region's biggest exhibition center. You should have enough space for A-level offices, and the area should be ready to handle something like 200,000 visitors daily. That was already done in Expo. So I think when they were planning Expo for 2020, that massive investment into connectivity, which the area has the best connectivity today. It has direct metro connection, roads, has 16 lanes that are around the area. So that's where they moved this group of users, and they separate, because when they were creating downtown, the task was completely different. Dubai was still a regional city, not a global one, and with overpopulating one area and enriching it with different groups of users, you create life over there. So at the early days, at 2010, 11, it was a very nice area to live, not that crowded, not that populated. So and at that time, they were putting focus on bringing people to that place. Now, Habibi, enough. Too much Habibis in downtown. We should move some of them. Those Habibis with money, you should move to Expo now. So when they do that, the infrastructure there is already inherited by 2020 Expo. It's the first case in the world where after the exhibition, the World Expo, they so wisely leverage on the this heritage that was left after the Expo. So they create a new downtown over there. The definition of downtown is a place where people do business, right? It's not a place where people live. It's not a place where people go sightseeing. It's where they do business. In that definition, and by the way, it's different from the city center. City center is a geographical point. Downtown is a place where people do business, right?
Or retail,
If Sheikh's vision is to have all that people in that area, who can compete with that? A separate developer who wants to build a new downtown in some other area, or maybe it's some other people who think that we take the ruler and in the middle it's downtown. No, it's where Sheikh's vision is. Because his vision created the existing place called downtown, but Dubai is only 25 years old in modern history. It's still like a child, very soft, stretching. So downtown doesn't exist today. What they call downtown is the city center. In every old city, you have old city. Nobody's doing business there. Tourists are coming there, right?
True.
So that will be old city. No one remembers that before Burj Khalifa, downtown was in Deira. Does anyone do business in Deira today? I mean, from multinational corporations, investors? No. But there are still people who do business 100%. Because that was done before, right?
Trading,
So we'll start calling downtown, the now downtown, Old Town, and we'll start calling Expo City downtown.
That's what might happen with all the companies moving in the area.
No, I think the infrastructure is built for that. And also, major corporations want to stay close to areas of transportation so that they can fly their execs in and out very calmly and easily. So I think that's something that will also create this attraction for companies to be able to house their entities out of Dubai South.
These international corporations like Siemens, Nestle, etc. Each of them create demand for short-term stays, right? Because they having constant flow of people coming there for 2 days, for 3 days, from Germany, from Austria, all around the world. When there are 300 companies like that, it's a constant flow of people who need to be close in walking distance, preferably from their office.
The job, yeah.
How Expo is planned today, the 3 existing leaves of low-rise buildings where offices are today, it's literally in 300 meters to the entrance to the metro. In 4 minutes, it takes you to the airport. In 15 minutes, you are in Marina. Yeah. So, yes, that's the key point where you have all set in proper way because you started from a scratch when they were developing the Expo. So it's perfectly planned. And, I give all the credits to the team behind creating the Expo, which is, by the way, Expo Developments have a special entity, 100% owned by government, and only they develop the whole place.
Do you guys think that when the new airport opens, that they'll close down the existing one?
What do you think?
I don't think so. It makes sense that they do to not, disturb what's happening with the flight path and everything for Dubai Islands, because that's going to be not the best thing in the world for real estate and for hotels over there. That makes common sense. But at the same time, that means that they have to build a brand new city in the middle of crossing Sharjah to Dubai. I don't know. I don't think they will close. What I think will happen is those are going to be more domestic and GCC flights. And I think this new airport's going to be all the international flights, America, the cross continents.
Because there's still a lot of infrastructure on that side of town that probably needs transportation close by. You can't just, I think...
Because in the middle of that, what are they going to do with that airport?
Yeah. I think you still need to serve that side of town for ease of travelers and also businesses to be able to come in and out. You have Ras Al Khaimah on the other side. They don't have their own airport, right? So I think that the traveler that's going to be coming to Ras Al Khaimah is going to still want to fly into perhaps.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think it makes common sense for Dubai Islands, but I don't think that costs. I don't think that balance sheets will be aligned with what you just said. I mean, we have London, Gatwick, Heathrow. Yeah. New York has 3 different airports. I don't think they're going to shut that down. I think that's going to remain for certain flights. It'll
be valuable, I believe. It'll still be valuable.
Way more valuable than whatever happens on Dubai Islands. The only thing I'm thinking is Dubai Islands and the flight path. It's the only thing I look at. Possible shutting down, but I don't think that's going to affect based on the costs. What do you think?
I think that if Dubai Islands is the main bet of tourism development, what I would do if I was doing this master plan, I would keep DXB to bring solely the charter flights that bring tourists, like Testour, Pegasus, all that companies. Because charter flights is a problem for airport. Yeah. When you have regular flights and charters, they create seasonal load on the infrastructure, and it's a hard task to manage. So if they have all the regular flights in Al Maktoum, I would keep DXB to bring tourists, and then, which is, let's say, like 10%, maybe 20% of the current traffic of DXB. It means that you will have only 10% of existing flights over the Dubai Islands, and they can change the way they go. So in 7 minutes, if you draw a direct line, and they have bridges built, and there are roads that can connect directly airport with Dubai Islands, then you bring tourists. They don't create traffic. In 7 minutes, they are directly on the beach side. So that adds value to Dubai Islands. And anyway, when they move airport, if you are buying today in Dubai Islands at 2,500 or 3,000 dirhams, is the move of the airport appreciating or depreciating factor?
Depreciating.
I like the fact that flights are today when I'm buying, and they're moving when my property is ready, right? So that will boost my my growth. So I think that might be a scenario when they separate the traffic in the airport. So for regular flights, for everything that you can scale, and you predict it's over there, DXB will keep the tourists.
Kamil, you make an excellent point. To be able to keep charter flights there will also change the demographic tremendously. To be able to have the private jets landing in the old airport will bring that traveler that is that sophisticated, high budget traveler to be able to be connected to the Ras Al Khaimah side and to probably Dubai Island side.
Maybe, yeah. I'm not referring to charter flights as business jets, but I'm referring to big liners that bring tourists, and these
Like the
charters
TUIs and all of that.
Okay.
they are
Right.
booked
Yeah.
by tourist
Okay.
companies.
Got it.
No, they
Yeah.
sell these
Okay.
packages like
Yeah.
Fine.
all inclusive Dubai.
And
like
we have a
flights.
lot of those those hotels. Wasn't like 10 years ago, we didn't have the Rui hotels and that we have now. We have a couple of those all-inclusive hotels now.
Yeah, right.
Because Dubai is becoming really diversified. We got the people that maybe normally can afford an all-inclusive trip to Mallorca. They can actually come to Dubai now for just 10-20% more than what Mallorca is going to cost them. It wasn't like that 10, 15 years ago. It was booking separate or booking packages that would still was expensive because the hotels that we had were quite expensive hotels unless you went to Dira side.
Yeah, that's
You
introducing
see
a
what
whole
I'm
new,
saying? Which is
yeah.
all the way away from the beach. Now we have beachfront hotels, all-inclusive hotels.
Yeah.
So it may, I don't think they're gonna remove the airport. I wasn't thinking as deep as he did, but I don't think they're gonna. What are they gonna do?
How
You have
about,
intuition.
I don't know. How about if they make that one cargo only, so no passengers at all?
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Because Dubai South is a huge new logistical
hub.
area,
Yeah.
logistical hub.
Yeah.
So traffic went on Khail and all of that's going to be
Actually, it
insane.
makes more sense to have cargo on the other side
Yes.
because of the port as well. because they're
There you
moving the
go.
port.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jebel Ali Port. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right behind Al Maktoum, as I understood, we will have a new railway station.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the new railway that will connect Abu Dhabi and Dubai in
Etihad.
speed trains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will have the full. You will have the full house.
Yeah.
You will have the biggest port,
Yeah.
the biggest airport,
Yeah.
the fastest
Train,
railway,
yeah.
the metro,
And the metro. Yeah.
and the best connectivity in forest
Internally.
connection.
Yeah.
So that makes the full house. You
Yeah.
have everything possible to connect that area
Yeah.
globally.
Yeah.
And I have a different question. Like, the area is big. We have a lot of developments coming to the area. Majorly, by the way, villas and townhouses. Tens of thousands of units.
Yeah.
If you calculate everything, what Emar, Damak, Dubai House,
Azizi.
Azizi announced by far, they're all villas and townhouses, right? Some high-rise buildings by Emar coming to Emar's house and Terra Heights. But that gives me an idea that they are betting on, families moving
there.
to the area way before the area is attractive for families. Because currently, I see that as a purely business area. And for a family to move, let's take an example of Dubai Hills. We should have a King's School, a hospital,
Nurseries.
nurseries. These things take time because it's not only to build, it's to create the rating, it's to create attractiveness of that particular school, right?
Neighborhoods. Yeah.
Neighborhoods. And in every spot, you will be next to warehouses, logistics, Dubai Logistics City, Dubai Industrial City, Production City, a lot of places all around the area, which
Serve.
doesn't fit with the family style of living, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to tell that somebody is doing mistakes, but I say a lot of developers failing in Dubai in terms of product market fit.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of things. And now we'll start roasting developers. And that's a lot and that's a lot of things that they don't understand because market is high.
Yeah.
Whatever they build is selling, right?
Yeah.
Why they put any effort into being sophisticated with the concept, with the idea,
Of
with
serving.
what they're selling? Yeah.
See, here in Dubai is quite different than the way that we developed in US. And I'll say is because in US, we followed jobs. We followed growth population of the basic jobs and versus the added jobs that come because of the basic employment. And aside from that, you have a certain gap analysis that you have to do to be able to know that how long will it take for the market to be able to absorb the amount of units that are coming in. Until recently, I think that the Dubai population or Dubai developers have really basically had this mentality of build it and they will come. and just follow the masses, and whatever happens, sooner or later they'll be occupied. But overall speaking, for Dubai South, it must be a little bit different of an approach, I believe, is because I feel that until recent, it was always looked upon as a long-term vision, long-term approach that any developer that goes in there needs to have the fundamentals to be able to have holding power, to be able to build a project that will take maybe double, triple the time to sell it out than what it would take probably in the mainlands of Dubai. But overall speaking, I think that the market is maturing. Developers are understanding that the build it and they will come philosophy is not going to always work. That it has to be a little bit more methodological, where we're doing more research and to be able to understanding that where and why and what type of product is what needs to be developed to be able to attract the best fit person to be able to buy that unit from you.
And I think that developers in Dubai in general are just randomly picking areas to populate with their projects. I mean, everything is moving along with the strategy that the government has in place. So if the government is all fulling about populating Dubai South, so the developer, they're just gonna jump in on that strategy and just trying to populate the area. So
yeah, I can agree that they definitely, Dubai's case is different from anything in the world because it's the fastest growing city, and government is, I think it's working with developers in terms of, if it doesn't make business sense today, but you should follow what government is doing. Sooner or less you will benefit from it, but I can't agree that that gives developers an excuse for lame concepts. Because government doesn't tell you build exactly this. It tells you that we need accommodation for this number of residents or visitors, right? So then it's your part of job to create a concept to meet that demand and market fit. Let's say we have two traffic. I'll give you an example on the Dubai House. We have two traffic monsters in the area. We have airport and the upcoming exhibition center. I mean, it exists. It's expanding.
Expansion.
$3 billion injected into just expanding that area, 600 events and more than 5 million visitors, as I say, because currently World Trade Center has 2.5 million visitors, 300 events. Yeah, they're doubling that.
Yeah.
So you have 5 million unique visitors. Dubai Mall has 100 million visitors per year, right? But that counts also all the stuff working in and inside going in and out, and every resident in Dubai. So if we take that 20 times everyone is entering and exiting in average per year Dubai Mall, then Dubai Mall's traffic will be less than this exhibition center's traffic, because it's 5 million unique visitors. They will have 100 million, job workers,
repeated,
repeated visitors. Now, when you have these amount of people coming from 3 days to 2 months, I mean the duration of the event. What do we have on supply side? We have that, what we discussed about the airport. We need to build that. We will have 270 million passengers per year, 24/7 people who need to be, again, from 3 days to 1 month in the area. What we have on product on the supply side?
Not much.
We have 9 buildings, low-rise buildings coming in Expo area, less than 1,200 units. We have upcoming hotels developed by Aldar together with Expo, and an existing hotel in Expo for 150 rooms, something like that. On the other side, Emar is introducing the Terra Heights project, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. There is a master plan. I've seen a master plan.
Where are these people staying?
I've seen a master plan just below for a big cluster, and there was a developer selling studios at 550K, like 385 square feet, 390 square feet studios. That's all I've seen. But coming back to the main point, I mean, I agree with you. I agree with what everyone's saying, but I think it's about the fact that, number one, like you said, it's a super hot market. Like you said, super hot market, everything's moving. Yeah, everyone want to jump on that. So money comes in, of course. Second of all, plot prices down there are probably far more cheaper than plot prices on the same stretch as Arabian Ranches 3 and Moudon and all of that. I think those plot prices are way cheaper. I think. It just
Yeah,
makes
it's
common
changed.
sense. It's further
changed.
down, right?
Some major announcements have happened this year.
Yeah.
Late last year. That has changed the dynamic and the bullishness of developers to be able to start developing there. There's a major developer that's coming there from Pakistan. That is taking on a huge project. Huge. They're building townhouses. They're building multifamily. They're building villas, and they are very successful in taking on projects of this caliber. Is because they've done it already in a city in Pakistan. So I think that's going to change a lot. Mid-tier developers are following that trend.
But coming back to what you said, I so agree with you. There is no airport in the world which has been super known for families to move there. Like these 3, 4, 5-bed townhouses and villas that we have. Nowhere in the world has it been, okay, it's really good to invest right next to the airport for me and my kid.
I've been working in that area. I've had an office. Before I opened this one, I had an office in Dubai headquarters. It's called Dubai South headquarters, HQ. And we still have it today. And I remember in 2019, right before COVID, and even until 2021, 2022, I couldn't even order talabat. I couldn't get food delivered to Dubai South. And even if I did, during the end of that time that I was working
cold
from there,
by the time it gets to you.
It took 2 hours, an hour to 2 hours to be able to get the food there. But if you go there now, I think that's changed. Now there are restaurants opening, there are schools opening, there are people that are considering that place to be where they can live and still be connected to the main parts of Dubai. So it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. And I believe that it's going to take a lot more of neighborhood building, families taking that risk to be able to call it home. And then once that happens and then the word spreads, then I think within 12, 24 months you could see that happening. And I believe also that as rents increase in the major parts of Dubai, that people will then go to the outskirts. They will go further out.
But it comes back to it. It comes back to that we have a undersupply, and we've had it for years when it comes to townhouses and villas. I think, don't you agree? I don't know if you agree with me. I think since we have so many launches, have had so many launches of apartments and buildings, JVT, JVC, Furjan, Arjan, that the whole idea is for them to communicate to the airport via metro. Because metro and everything is done prior to the airport being airport is fully done and handed over to this fullest extent by 2033. The majority of everything that we see with different colored of metro stations are done by 2030. Don't you think that the idea is for people to work at the airport to navigate themselves from JVC, JVT, Arjan, and all of that? So the surrounding areas, since we have a low supply of townhouses and villas, it's a perfect timing to do the suburban style that we do see in all the other cities, that apartment buildings are covering the majority of this side of town. In the outskirts, we have all the suburban areas.
It's happened to Dubai right now. I mean, when you see Dubai today, the working class that work in Dubai, they don't live in Dubai. Some of them lived in Sharjah, Ajman to be able to drive their ways in. And I think that's the same that's going to happen probably in Dubai South. But when people would rather, I think preference should always, or has been, is for people to live close to where they work and where they have their kids attend school and so on and so forth. So I think it will take time, but it's something that's already been done or that's being done now.
And it also makes sense for people, like Dubai is really expensive. It's not a cheap place to live. And it makes more sense for people to be living like in Dubai South and areas. Recently, I'm not going to name the specific community, but I've been to a community that is made by a big developer here in Dubai. And we're talking south, and it's almost in the middle of nowhere. And I visited one of the clusters, and to my surprise, that the cluster was fully occupied. And when I was there, I was actually having a conversation with a colleague of mine, and I told him I wouldn't live here even if they pay me.
I know what you're talking about.
Especially that. I mean, there isn't much going on in the area, and plus it's right next to a dumpster. So, like when I was there in the evening, the smell was horrific. But surprisingly, the entire cluster,
because the price is
entire
good.
cluster is actually packed, and I've seen people with their families. So when it comes to having an affordable offering or an affordable offer, I would say product, people would actually consider it. So just, yeah.
I think that to answer your question, we will have two major trends. Like when I said that Dubai South in general and low-rise buildings over there, like villas and townhouses, are not investment from my perspective, make no sense to me. Some people got offended because they were selling a lot these villas and townhouses as an investment. But when you look at it, who will be your buyer? Whom you will resell your property? Like the main question you should ask, right? Yeah. If the area is considered affordable, those people who need affordable housing, do they pay huge premiums from the original price?
No, exactly.
So
especially
it will be,
with today's original prices.
It will be something like 10 to 15% in 3 years that you put on top of the equity you've invested. Yeah, bank will give you more. Why would you even buy properties? Yeah. So it doesn't make investment sense. Yeah. But for the people, for housing, if you like the area, if there is some business you need to attend, if you want to have a villa at the same price of having an apartment in JVC or in other area, it makes sense for you because there are different topics. There is real estate investing and there is property buying. These are completely different processes. So for property buying, Dubai South is perfect. I don't have any issue with that. But for investment side, I have a frame that I look at as, let's say I'm buying, the frame is very similar to buying commercial spaces. If I have a chance to rent a shop inside Dubai Mall, which is the biggest traffic in Dubai, right? Because I'm comparing the rent, not to the rent of any coffee shop in any other area. I can rent 10 coffee shops in JVC at the rent of one coffee shop, a smaller one in Dubai Mall, right? Some of the highest rents in the world. So in our case, it will be the cost of property, let's say in Expo, right? Because they're selling one bedroom at 2 million dirhams. Okay, and people start comparing. For 2 million I can buy a townhouse or a villa, etc. It's like, hey, we are buying bricks. Are we buying a home or we are investing money? If even it was a studio, I would go for it. Because man, you are 600 meters from 5 million visitors per year. It's a shop inside Dubai Mall, right?
Correct.
So why you are comparing total price to a total price of a townhouse over there in the middle of nowhere? There is no traffic. You don't make money on that. You buy bricks.
Do you think that Dubai, in the grand scheme of everything that's happening in the region, do you think Dubai has any competition from any cities and countries around?
Interesting.
Well, definitely Saudi Arabia is doing their best right now, especially with all the new announcements, with the new projects that they're leading, them trying to make Riyadh the center of the Middle East. So
I love what he's doing. I love what they're doing.
He has a very ambitious...
me and my mother was talking about this. She loves what he's doing. Like, making things so much more liberal and acceptable, and the world can start looking at Saudi and all of that and all of the projects. But remember, we have, it's just common sense. It's just common sense. We have 25 years of head run of innovation. Dubai didn't have a reference point. Dubai was like, okay, let's pick the best stuff from New York. Let's pick the best stuff from Singapore. Let's take the best stuff from Miami. Let's do a nice little, put it underneath the Christmas tree. Yeah. But everywhere around this region and the rest of the world, what is the reference point now? Us. So in order for them to get to our point and then starting to compete with new innovations at this point, I don't think in my lifetime anyone will touch Dubai. In my lifetime. Maybe for generations to come, I don't know. But look how far ahead we are.
I mean, we were just talking about Dubai South.
Yeah.
And people are hesitating to go 10 miles to the other side of town.
There you go.
Imagine now wanting
that's a brand new place.
Go to another country. So I think human emotions, they just are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
And they want to be around convenience and family and security and all the 100%. Friends and family members that already live in a specific town. Place of town. Yeah. So I think you're right. I think it's going to take time. Yeah. Just like Dubai South, I think Saudi Arabia maybe not even in our lifetime.
And we're like, if you think of it this way, like look at Ras Al Khaimah, right? Ras Al Khaimah has exclusivity on casinos until 2029. Once we're in 2030, then we're going to start looking at it in Dubai. And we are so far ahead in so many aspects. You're talking about the greatest exhibition hall, the largest in the region or the world, I don't know. In Mina,
In Mina.
the largest airport in the world, biggest, greatest mall. The mall in Dubai Creek Harbor is supposed to be the most technologically advanced, according to what they've said so far. Like, we are so far ahead, our head start, right? That's like me starting to compete with Michael Jordan when he's 25 and I'm 16. I got so much to go until I reach it. You see what I'm saying?
Your prime.
But
the
I
planning,
love the fact
the
that
planning that they're doing, and
it's amazing.
the amount of energy and publicity that they're doing is definitely something that you have to consider. That there is some competition,
of course,
right?
Well, to answer your question, the first question we should ask us is, what is the key ingredient? What allowed Dubai to be successful? What do we have? Oil.
Yeah.
Let's look back at at the starting point 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Dubai is what, 200,000 population.
Yeah.
We have some oil,
Yeah.
less than Abu Dhabi, way less than hundreds of other cities in the world.
Yeah. 100%.
Like in Russia, we have tens, cities where we have more oil reserves till today than Dubai. Ever had.
Yeah.
So oil is not the answer.
Yeah.
Then climate is not the answer.
No.
Some natural advantages are not the answer.
Yeah.
You don't have any kind of resources to build anything in this place.
Yeah.
And you are starting the race. Let's imagine Russia, where I come from. I know things.
Yeah.
30 years ago, we started after the Soviet Union crashed with second largest industrial economy in the world, second most educated population in the world. You have all the kinds of engineers, professionals, experts in anything you want. You have all the possible resources that Allah created in this world.
Forestry, everything.
In plenty.
Agriculture. Yeah.
You have the biggest territory. You have everything. So 30 years later, why there is no Dubai in Russia?
Vision.
So the lack
Didn't have
of
the same vision.
Exactly.
It's
We have a
about
vision.
And
management, and leadership. Well, the definition of management is to maximize the returns on a scarce resources that you have.
That you have, yeah.
And it's the book definition of what Dubai did.
Yeah.
Right? So the main answer for me, to answer your question, if Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar will be able to catch up, it's not amount of money they invest. It's not amount of people they bring in contracts. It's not the lines that they draw on papers. The main concern for me is I should have track record of leadership being able to deliver what they talk about.
Yes.
Yeah,
In
management.
Dubai, we have it, and it's proved. Nobody doubts. In other places, this is the big challenge.
Yeah.
Money is not. Technology is
Money
not.
doesn't buy
leadership.
leadership.
And nothing is a challenge in modern world except this management.
Yeah.
So why UAE is winning today? It's because of management. And another thing is that only the management allowed. You are the branding guy and marketing guy. Dubai changed the global brand and perception of Dubai 5 times.
Yeah. I know.
When it just started developing from a regional, even from a regional city, it was not a global city. The first point, what was Dubai's positioning? It was competing with Thailand, Turkey, and other places for tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dubai was a tourist site,
Yeah.
the perception,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Were there people moving banks in Dubai at that time? No, nonsense.
Yeah.
Why would you have a bank in Pattaya, in Samui today, right?
Yeah.
In Thailand. So that was the same perception of Dubai back then. Then Dubai's key competence back from hundreds of years before was always about trade and about free zones. At that time it was called different, but it was free trade, right? So they scaled on that competence, and after it became a touristic destination, by the way, even in government, as I read, Sheikh Mohammed was a minister, one of ministers in the government, and people in government was laughing when he was saying that tourists from all over the world can come here. We can build here something. Nobody was believing, right?
Yeah.
They did it. So the first point where they proved what I can promise, I can deliver, right? So it's this first point where Saudi Arabia is today.
Yeah, exactly.
True, right?
Exactly.
After that, what Dubai did? Free trade. Okay, we create free zones. We attract business. 25% of Dubai's GDP today is trade, global trade.
Yeah.
So we've built another perception of Dubai as a brand. It's a tax-free zone that was competing with a lot of other tax-free countries in the world.
Yeah.
But on every point where Dubai pivoted, it
became a branding, a soft branding.
It surpassed everyone else in the industry. Let's say they build a target to be touristic destination, right? They reached it. They moved to the next one. Did anyone else move from touristic destination perception into business destination?
Yeah, no one. Miami moved slowly to finance. That's it. Miami finance,
First for Latin America,
offshoring,
South America.
and
So if you look at whom Dubai was competing when it was building a tourist destination, like Turkey, Thailand, Egypt, any of them are free zones, trade hubs?
No.
Third time they did it when they told, now we'll build a place as a financial center.
Yeah.
And the guys from finance industry were saying, man, okay, you are good for making tourists for beachside vacation.
Yeah.
And you are okay because you don't have taxes. You need money. You need to attract people. Okay, you don't impose taxes. But finance is something old school. It's something we do in London. We do in New York. Don't play this game. Now what? 7th financial center in the world will be in top 3, no doubt.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming capital of capital, taking over Switzerland.
Sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So if tomorrow Sheikh Mohammed announces that Dubai now is building Moonbase and will be selling plots there, I will be the first in a row with the money because they did everything they promised. They pivoted to every industry they wanted.
And the luxury
track
segment
record
came
sells.
as
That
soon
track
as
record.
Burj Al Arab in the late 90s, I think 1996 or 7. That's when everyone started looking at it from a luxurious standpoint. There was nothing luxurious about Dubai before that. Like 7-star hotel? What are you guys talking about?
To imagine
we don't
that
even
this
have
started
a
off
6-star
as
in
a
the world.
desert,
Yeah.
right? The vision and the leadership, and then the execution power, right? And to have their people support instead of calling them out, but yet to support through their dedication and still remaining in the region while there's others that basically fled, right?
But I have to say this though. When I moved here in 2013, I was thinking, because we, as human beings, we kind of slack. When we get into a comfort zone, we slack a little bit, we relax a little bit. And the leaders are human beings, so it's natural.
Yeah.
But now, in the last 2 years, it's been proven to me exactly what you're saying about vision. We have problems with traffic, never mind. Let's throw in 30 billion dirham on Hessa Street project, this project, that project. When this Palm Jebel Ali and everything came about, I didn't know about the dimensions, I didn't know about the bridges, I didn't know about the logisticals of Palm. So any mistake or anything that wasn't carefully taken care of with Palm Jumeirah, let's not slack, let's do it even better. This whole hunger for doing things better and better and better. This is what's driving as well, that I don't know anything else in the region would be able to match. Like Palm Jebel Ali is gonna have cleaner water. We got 3 bridges. We got different exits. We got bridges being built. Everyone's complaining about traffic. I guarantee you everything's gonna be solved in the next 5 years, except Marina maybe. Right? Marina and JB, because it's so, you can't build more, like it's so congested.
I'll tell you what will happen to that place. Traffic from there will be moved to Dubai Islands. And they will revitalize that area.
I agree.
Because if you want to rebuild the infrastructure, you need to extract people from there.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's the Dubai we love.
Yeah.
That's
but they're not going to do it like they do in LA. Like they do in LA now. They're not going to do it that way.
You know, when I say that the management model and leadership model, which is not bullshit democracy, but a monarchy and the power of vision of one man and his team, that's the most efficient. Because imagine if in any other country we had floods, right?
Yeah.
Like something that happens once in 70 years.
Yeah.
It's not about bad things that happen. They happen everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
how
about
quickly you fix it.
It's about response. So what was done? Like $8 billion plan adopted in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If in London we had a problem, it would take 5 years just to discuss a plan with every dog in the city.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you cannot deploy this scale of resources and quick decisions with any other management model. That's why I'm saying that the management model enables everything.
This is exactly what you
Decisions
said.
made as required, and with persons that have delivered on their promises.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. You know why it's possible?
Why?
Why they can deploy $8 billion into creating sewage system that meets hundreds of the next 100 years development needs.
How? What are you thinking?
Imagine any mayor, any guy in charge of city in Western countries.
Civilization, yeah.
His vision is 4 years till next election.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course. Yeah.
Can he plan things for 100 years?
No.
But if you are managing it at a corporation, this is something we know who will be the next ruler, right?
Yeah, of course.
So what you plan today to do for the next 100 years, you do it for your people
You carry it.
Yeah.
and for your
You
family
don't burn bridges.
Yeah.
and for the next ruler.
Yeah.
You can't plan for 100
Yeah,
years.
of course. It's like your grandfather had a restaurant. That restaurant's going to go to your mom, to your dad. It's going to go to you. It's going to go to your kids.
The
It's
legacy.
a family operation. Yeah,
The
of
legacy
course.
that carries.
Of course.
Ajay,
Amazing.
any opinion of Dubai versus Saudi?
Well, honestly speaking, I believe that the prince in Saudi Arabia, he has very ambitious plans. However, I kind of believe that they do struggle a lot when it comes to execution. It's just because of the way or the model of how, like, what it's the difference between the government, how it is managed there, and the difference between it here in Dubai. And also, if you have noticed, like with lots of the projects that they have announced, they announce them with a certain magnitude, and then as we go, every day there's an update where they say, you know what, like it's not going to be this size, it's going to be a little bit smaller. There's no consistency, and we go back to the point that Kamil said, that here in Dubai, the government has shown and has a track record.
Of
like probably Dubai has, or the UAE has, the only governments in the world that when it says something or it promises something, they actually deliver.
Yeah.
And the people here, we trust the government because they have shown at multiple instances that they can be trusted. They can deliver on their promises. Well, for instance, when we in any other country, when you say that this project is backed by government, people are like, yeah, no, I don't think that it will ever be delivered. While here in Dubai, when we say that a project is backed by the government, people are like,
it's a premium.
excited.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It is going to happen.
True.
You know, another challenge when you are developing things on large scale, like building cities and, you know, developing
Big
a
sub-communities.
country.
Yeah.
It's more than 2,000 points to be balanced. Imagine how complicated things are. Like when you are building a city, it's the most interesting and the most complicated thing in the world. Building rockets is easier because imagine a human's life. You should predict all the dimensions of every possible portrait of this guy for the next 30 years and to build things to meet that requirements and to be balanced in timeline. Because today you are 18. In next 10 years you will be 28, you will have 1 or 2 kids. Where they're going? Is that place where they are going in your development plan or not? Did you reserve the plots for their schools? Because these type of guys, where they will be living in that residential area to have the proper pricing and the infrastructure, was that planned in the master plan, right? So when you put this all down, where you go to the hospital, where you entertain, and you have 120 portraits of that people. You need to meet all their needs for the next 30 years. And then on top of it, you put the economy layer, what the business will be doing here, what will be the cultural layer, the healthcare, etc. So when it's impossible to perfectly balance this work. And Dubai did also a stretch, what I call it. A stretch is when you plan to do things, but something runs too fast. And these things, you know, is stuck.
Not moving.
And you cannot make them meet perfectly in a timeline. So that's what happened back when Dubai was building Dubai Land. And, you know, a lot of these attractions, you know, amusement parks, a lot of these fancy projects, because the team and Dubai's success
Ahead of their
at
time.
that time, it inspired people to run faster, you know. But the financial crisis, the willingness of other people to support that plan at that time was not that confident as today.
Yeah.
So there was a stretch.
Yeah.
And it took time to catch up for the government, for the investors, you know, for Dubai to recover, to catch up. So when I see these massive plans of Saudi, it tells me only one thing. They will have way better, way longer stretch.
Yeah.
Because they didn't prove themselves yet. They can build massive things.
Yeah.
You know any success story? No. Did they develop anything of a world meaning? Not yet. but they initiated not one, but tens
Multiple,
of different things,
Massive
clusters,
projects, yeah.
massive projects. You should be to manage all that. You should have such a strong team behind you.
Yeah, that's
that
already
can
done it
keep
and
hand
got
on all of
chemistry
that.
and- Yeah, 100%.
If you don't have that,
Yeah.
you will be stretched, in all
Yeah.
directions.
Yeah.
So that's.
I got a question for you though. I got a question
go
for
ahead.
you. Two things. Maidan, District 1, okay? We all know it's been on and off and there's been financial issues with the big mall. And you just reminded me of an area that was the topic of discussion 15 years ago with the pyramids and all of that. Falcon City of Wonders. Do you know what happened to all of that? Falcon City of Wonders, it was supposed to be the pyramids, it was supposed to be Taj Mahal, and at the bottom of the feet of the falcon was supposed to be the Eiffel Tower. Remember, they were going to make that like a hub for like 4 different places around the world. And the wings were supposed to be the villas, where one of the wings got beautiful villas, refurbishment projects, and huge plots. What happened to these 2 projects? Do you know? I don't know.
At that time, I think that's also in Dubai Land, right?
Yes, correct.
So the whole place, Dubai Land, was planned as a big amusement park.
Yeah, I know.
Because they had successful launches of amusement parks. They were filled with people. They were filled with people, and I don't think whose exactly, but teams or investors or whose vision was that if we build more amusement parks, it will attract more people. But you know how it works. You go there today, you go there tomorrow, you get tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not something that creates consistent demand from people who live nearby.
Yeah.
And at that time, I think it was a stretch because you need, let's say, 100 of different facilities for the people to be attracted to the area, and then you just gigantically increase one of them to have amusement parks all around.
Yeah.
So that I think what happened to the area.
Yeah.
If you compare it to Florida, Orlando, it took it 25 years after Disney World came for it to be what it is today, right? It's because it's the infrastructure, it's the population to be able to build around it and become the city center. And then it's a demographic that's not easily attracted from the world, because then you are competing with the places like Disney World in the world to be able to bring that allegiance, break that allegiance and to come to your side. And then if your weather is not really designed for that outdoor walk for half your day or almost 3/4 of your day, then you're not able to compete very effectively.
Don't you think that they've maintained Disneyland over there really poorly?
We can have a whole different episode about that. But I think for today, thank you so much for everyone's time.
We're spinning off. You know who I ran into, by the way? Amari Stoudemire, the basketball player from Phoenix Suns. Yeah.
We're here.
Over there in Disneyland in Orlando, 2016. That was fun. Yeah, thank you for having me as usual.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for
Thank you
having us.
everyone.
Great
Thank you,
invitation.
John. Thank you, Rajay. Thank you, Bardia.
Don't forget to subscribe
and comment below.
Subscribe, like, and comment.